Storybook Suitcase.
Layla and the Golden Pyramids. Layla was a creative, thoughtful 6-year-old girl who lived in London. She saw the world in shapes and colors. While other children ran around the playground screaming, Layla sat on the carpet, carefully stacking wooden blocks to make tall, steady towers. She liked to place the prisms on the cuboids to make beautiful patterns. She was usually very brave, but today she had butterflies in her tummy. She was going on a big metal bird, an airplane, for the very first time. She was flying all the way to Cairo, Egypt, to meet her grandparents. She had seen them on video calls, but she had never held their hands. The plane ride was long, but Layla liked looking at the clouds. To her, they weren't just fluff. They looked like millions of tiny white circles joined together to make giant, soft pillows. She noticed all the different colors in them: bright, shining paper white on top where the sun hit them, and soft, shadowy charcoal gray underneath. They looked like mashed potatoes sculpted by an artist. When they landed in Cairo, the air was warm and smelled of hot sand and sweet flowers. Layla hid behind her mum's leg when she saw the 2 smiling older people waiting for them. "Layla, Habibti," her grandmother cried out. Before Layla could feel scared, they scooped her up. Her grandfather had a scratchy mustache, and her grandmother smelled like rosewater. They gave her the biggest, warmest squeeze hug she had ever felt. The butterflies in her tummy flew away. Layla felt safe. For the next few days, Layla's grandparents took her on a whirlwind adventure. Cairo was magical. First, they stood in the sand looking up at the pyramids of Giza. They were huge triangles that seemed to touch the sky. "How did they build them?" Layla whispered, her eyes wide. She looked around at them, from every side, watching how the sharp angles changed from each way she looked. Right next to them, the Great Sphinx looked like a giant cat king guarding the sand. They visited the Egyptian museum, full of shiny golden masks and ancient secrets. They walked through the Cairo citadel, a giant fortress on a hill, and wandered through the quiet, beautiful churches of Coptic Cairo. Layla's favorite part was the el-Khalili bazaar. It was a maze of narrow streets filled with sparkling lanterns, colorful rugs, and the smell of spices. Layla's eyes danced with the colors. She saw silk scarves in deep cobalt blue, spices that were a dusty burnt orange, and glass lamps glowing in magenta pink and emerald green. It felt like a storybook come to life. On the last night, Layla looked out the window at the Cairo moon. She took out her sketchbook and her crayons. She didn't draw a flower or a dog. She drew a perfect, strong triangle. "When I grow up," Layla told her mum, "I am going to build a pyramid, but mine will be pink." The flight back to London felt much faster. Layla wasn't nervous anymore. She was excited. She sat in her seat, wiggling her toes. As soon as they walked through their front door in London, Layla dropped her suitcase and ran straight to her dad. "Daddy! Daddy!" she shouted, opening her sketchbook. "Did you know the Sphinx doesn't have a nose? And did you know the pyramids are made of 2 million blocks? I counted them." Her dad laughed and listened to every single amazing fact, happy to have his little architect home safe and sound.